So today we have the none other than Elsa Majimbo joining us, Rihanna's bestie, social media star, award-winning social media star, mind you. She is a global superstar at the moment, and she's just getting started. Join me in conversation. The mere mention of the year 2020 makes a lot of people cringe with what has been labeled as the worst year of our generation. And whilst the previous year served some of us with much dread during the lockdown, Kenyan-born superstar Elsa Majimbo, dubbed Mpo by South Africans, was keeping us entertained on social media with her viral comedic videos. And also, we have quite some truth in them, right? On season 2 of The Sit Down, I had the pleasure of speaking to Elsa and her mom about her new life in the spotlight. And ever since then, literally so much has happened. So consider this part 2 of this conversation with Elsa, as you can check out the previous one on www.artofsuperwoman.com. Elsa, welcome to The Sit Down again.
Thank you. The first one we had it virtually, at least this one we had it face to
Yes, we
face.
did. And I think one of the things that stood out for me in that one was your conviction, and your mom's like, what is this girl saying? So I truly enjoyed it. You've come so far
I have.
in the past year.
I have.
When we spoke, I think you had, it must have been about 100K followers, or just under 100K followers.
Yeah,
And then you're sitting on, I think, 2.5 million followers at the moment.
I am.
Insane in a year.
I know, it's crazy.
And you're Rihanna's bestie.
I am.
You're an award-winning social media star.
That is true.
You are a comedian, a certified comedian now. You're only getting started.
Yes.
And how has that kind of come together in your head for you at the moment? What space are you in mentally?
It hasn't come together. Something like, because you know, what I've achieved in less than a year is people take decades to achieve. And for me, it's kind of all coming together. And I'm just like getting it in. So I'm just taking it one day at a time and trying to breathe it in. But I love what's happening. I love the money, of course.
Yeah.
I love the people who uplifted me to this point, you know, my fans, my family in some type of way. And it's very amazing that I have all the support around me, so that even as I go up higher, I have people down below looking after me.
Absolutely. And in all these titles that you have, which one do you prefer the most? Comedian, Rihanna's bestie, Beyonce's bestie, social media, award-winning social media star?
What to choose, what to choose. You know, I don't want Rihanna to feel betrayed. And also, Beyonce, she's been so good to me. Also, it's so much.
When you started up in the beginning, you received a lot of love from South Africans, right? We kind of own you as our own. How are you finding the country so far?
I love South Africa. Oh my, and it's like I keep on coming back. I leave, and then I come back. I leave
Every
because
time you try to leave, you keep pulling you back.
every time I leave, I'm back. So it's just kind of like, because for me, my initial plan was to come to South Africa and then travel, and then just travel. But it's like I come to South Africa, I travel, I come back to South Africa, I leave, I come back to South Africa. So South Africa has me.
Have you met some of your fans out here?
No. Okay, the ones who stop me at malls, but like a big fans, like a gathering, right? It's just like something small that I've arranged for them. I haven't because of the pandemic. But in the malls, I have just eating out, and it's very nice to interact with them, and they're like, oh my goodness, I love you. And I'm like, oh, stop. So yeah, I have met them, but not in a formal way.
Yeah. And I mean, cataloging all your achievements in the past year could take us a whole day, just like counting all of them. The MAC, you know, Fenty. You've worked with Mason Valentino recently. The book is out, the Alphabet book. Your People's Choice Awards, Teen Vogue has recognized you, GQ has recognized you, Forbes Woman has recognized you, Beyonce's website recognized you as one of the top women, most influential women in the world. Do you ever just like wake up and pinch yourself and like, damn?
Do you know, the thing is, I remember when this first started off, I told my brother, if I wake up in a coma and I realize this is all a dream, I'll be so mad. I was like, because there's no way in hell this is real. And I told him, I was like, if this is fake, I'll be so mad. I'll be so angry, and I will literally hate everyone. But I've come to terms with it, and now I'm getting more accustomed to it. I think before, like, I would get shocked by, you know, the things that I'm seeing out there. You know, I would see, because I wasn't used to this kind of life, and I would see things and they would shock me. And now it's just, it's normal.
What kind of things do you see? Like when you say
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Give me one example, just one example.
So I've met people, and in their houses, they have like zoos, like proper zoos, like tigers, lions, giraffes, yeah, like in the backyards. So, so for me, that's the craziest yet.
Yes.
For me, that's the craziest yet. That's the one I'm still getting in. But all these things, like, I'm getting used to them, and I've realized that's how the world is.
The last time we spoke on season 2, you were about to get out of university. You said you really wanted to leave university and pursue your comedic dreams. Because I already know this, that you had already started drafting that letter to exit university.
Yeah.
Your mom was like, nope, she must stay and finish university, then she can do whatever she wants. How does she feel about it now that she sees the dream starting to be realized?
She sent me a message this morning, actually. It was a message. It was a photo of me and my dad. We were having breakfast during our holiday. We were having our breakfast, and she sent me that photo, and she said, "Wow, I am so proud of you."
Aww.
Yeah, and for me, it was just like, you know, I was like, oh, and then I was like, you remember when you told me I need to stay in school?
You must send her that clip from the sit down.
I have to send her that part when she was like, no, you have to finish school. I will send her that video.
And she literally turned around, she was like,
yeah.
No, you have to finish school.
I was like, I'm leaving. And she was like, no, you're
not.
Oh, but immediately after that interview, I left school, and then I told them a few months later.
So you left first, and then you told them?
Yeah, I left, and then, and you know, when leaving, I need a letter of consent from the guardian. So I wrote my own letter of consent, and I was like, and you know, the good thing is that there was a pandemic.
Yes.
So I wasn't, like, they didn't need to see the guardian.
Yes.
They just needed the guardian. So I went onto my dad's email, sent the letter, and that was that.
That is so hectic.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then I blocked the email after that, so they couldn't even reply.
Yes.
It was amazing. Like, I'm just...
You're gonna give some people ideas. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. Only Elsa could
Don't
pull that one off, guys, because I mean now she's famous. Like, don't do it if you're not sure. And I mean, but then you were studying journalism, but you went on to use your journalism kind of, you know, experience or your journalistic skills in creating Bedtime with Elsa. I mean, it kind of worked out, right?
It did. It kind of, no, actually, let me not lie. I'm not a liar. My manager came up with Bedtime with Elsa.
Yes.
But the skills I learned, I actually didn't learn.
You didn't apply them?
No, there was not much I learned. I feel like it was a very old-fashioned way of...
Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't... And I feel like the education system doesn't adapt to today.
Yes.
So even the things we were learning, there was literally nothing I could apply. So I just naturally talented, so I applied that.
So you applied your
Bidtime with
natural
Elsa.
talents
Yes,
in Bidtime with Elsa, and you got to interview some of the big superstars in the world.
I did.
Like the Usain Bolt, Dua Lipa. Talking about Dua Lipa, she went on to connect you, you said, with Mason, Valentino, and and then history was made.
Yeah,
19-year-old Elsa Majimbo from Kenya, Kenya and South Africa. Kenya, Africa, I'm joking. From Kenya, Africa, who was, you probably...
Kenya, South Africa.
Kenya, South Africa. You were probably the youngest person to have a collaboration of that magnitude.
I was the youngest person to ever have a collaboration with Valentino, and it's just for me it was just so shocking. And we had gotten really deep into the process, and then after some time I asked one of the guys at Valentino, and I was like, "Oh, how did this come about?" And he was like, "Oh, so crazy story.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa is the one who actually sent us your things." And I was like, "What?" And I was so touched because I remember when I spoke to her, she was like, "Yeah, I want to see you shine. I want to see you thrive."
Aww.
And people usually just say
They
that.
say that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, "Okay, thank you." But she actually went this step. I was so touched. I was so touched.
And I think one of the things that stands out for me with you is just how you show up so intentionally and authentically in the world. There's a particular quote that actually I want to quote here. Please bring me my phone. There's a quote that she's a pretty big deal. She said this about you, and she had reposted your post and said, "Your life is something else. It's beyond human understanding. It's up there with stuff that is made for movies. It's truly a feel-good story unfolding every day. Layers of goodness and honesty, layers of goodness and honestly demanding of us to remain true to who we are. There's magic in that. Bless." Then she did a follow-up post that says, "A beautiful story. Seek it. It's within you too, black child. Remain true. Let the light in and experience the magic." How does it make you feel to hear people say this when they talk about your story and they talk about how the authenticity of who you are is what got you to where you are? You didn't have to change. You didn't have to be anything that you're not. You didn't have to assimilate. You were just being.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's so unreal. Like, even I sit down and I'm like, damn, Elsa Majimbo, it's the whole thing, it's crazy. So even to me, it's like I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, because even I even can't get grasp of it. And to me, it's so amazing that being my normal self and my authentic self is what got me here. Like, I didn't need to change anything. I didn't need to go the extra mile. I just sat in my bedroom, did what I needed to do, and watched Netflix. So it was very amazing that just being me was able to get me somewhere.
What do you say to people that seem to have this understanding or think that you were an overnight success? Because we know that overnight is not technically overnight. There's a lot of work that you did beforehand. You were creating these comedic videos before the lockdown.
I was, and I would make them for myself. So I would make them and I would think I am so funny. Just like, you are absolutely hilarious. And I would watch those videos and I would just, roll on the ground. I would laugh so hard. So I just used to post them because I didn't care. And I posted them again and again and again. And then one video blew up and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, she's an overnight sensation." I was like, no, it's not overnight.
I've been making myself laugh.
I've been making myself laugh. You guys are late to the party. You guys are the ones who are late. I've been doing this since 2016. And I'm just so happy that something that I didn't even think would take me anywhere really pushed me and completely changed my life. Yeah. So it's not overnight. Start something, stick with it, do it, and eventually the world will catch up.
Absolutely. And how's the rest of your family finding your fame?
I was speaking to them last night, and for them, I love family so much because they're so honest.
Yes.
Like even sometimes, I wouldn't I'll be doing a deal with someone and then someone will either be very disrespectful and I don't get involved in that because I know how important I am to them, so I don't act like they're important to me. So I just leave it. And yesterday I was telling them about this deal and I was like, I'll just leave it. They're like, no! They're like, make that money. They're like, make that money and then spend it on us. They're like, if not for you, at least for us. So they're just very honest. Or they'll be like, so when are we going to New York? You said you'll take us to Milan, take us. So they're like, it's like, especially my siblings, it's like they use me and they're very proud of it and I love it. So they're just taking advantage and I love it.
And I love how family orientated you are. Like your true north is really family and also community. And when I talk about family and community, something that's very close to your heart is seeing people come out of poverty, is seeing people that are overlooked being seen. And that's something that you're extremely passionate about, right? Where does that come from?
I think now that I jumped in this new space, I've seen people abusing and misusing money, and they use money like there's no tomorrow, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Even there's a time I went to see a couple of friends of mine, and I was going to a country. They were going to a different country, and they say to me, "We're going to this country, but we can drop you off." And I was like, what? Yeah, exactly. I was like, you can drop...
on a plane?
Yeah, and they're like, we can drop you off. I was like, you can drop me off? I was like, what do you mean you can drop me off? And to me, it's just crazy that people live like this, and they live like this on the daily, because I know there's the other side. There's the other side completely.
Wait, did they have a private jet?
Yes.
So they were going to drop you off?
All my friends have private jets. Okay, no, I'm joking.
I mean, Rihanna has one. I'm really sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Beyonce probably has one too.
No, but it's just like this side, and it's like they're in a bubble. They're in a bubble. They don't mix. They don't see how the other world lives. And for me, I think my transition has been so quick that I've been able to see both sides in such a short span. It's not like it's been slow, and now I also get into this world and I'm shielded. No, I know how other people live, and for me, it's so saddening that other people will waste money on such useless things, and so many people are suffering. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's so wrong. So for me, came to a place where I wanted other people to benefit, and now I want to go into a place where I'm also helping people get out of poverty, helping people get jobs, helping people get their lives together. There are people on two extreme ends. There are people on the very wealthy side and the people on the extreme poverty side. So there's people in the bubble, but the people in poverty, they see, because they work for the wealthy people. So I just think it's very sad that people can have that money and not help others. So I just think no one should be below the poverty line. It's wrong. Even being at the poverty line is wrong, but so many people are below the poverty line. And people need basic needs, and they need to live like human beings. So I think I'm on a mission now to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to be a big voice when it comes to alleviating poverty, especially on our continent, where we should, with all the wealth that we have on this continent, we should not be hungry.
True.
There should not be people that are still suffering from extreme poverty and are just trying to get by day to day. We have to sacrifice so much to just get a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous. But talk about on the lighter side of things, the character Elsa, is it a character? And how much pressure does being Elsa put on you sometimes? Because you have to show up all the time, right? When you bump into your fans at the mall, you have to smile, you have to be happy, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah. That's even like when I'm in a very, very bad mood, I have to smile and be Elsa Majimbo. And no one, it's like people don't see you as a human being. They just see what they see on the internet is what they expect. And if you're having a bad day and you show people you're having a bad day, the next thing on the internet, Elsa Majimbo, she's horrible to everyone. She's such a mean girl. Yeah, so it's definitely a character, and I'm a very shy person, and people don't know I'm a shy person. I like my space, and I don't like talking to people. I just, so sometimes I feel like I have to put on the character just to show people what they want to see.
Have you differentiated between Elsa, like the person, and Elsa Majimbo? Is there times when you're like, whoo, you get home and you're like, whoo, let me undress and like take off Elsa Majimbo and like step into just Elsa?
Elsa and Elsa Majimbo they're like the same person. I think the only difference is that Elsa Majimbo is very out there,
Yeah.
and Elsa is very I just want to chill, I just want to relax, I just like my own space. Yeah, so they're similar but different.
Yeah. And your blow up over the past year, in a year that was marred by a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty, a lot happened. A lot happened. How did you start making sense of the growth of where this is going? At what point were you like, okay, cool. This is work now. This is actually going to be something that is lucrative. I'm growing. I'm becoming a superstar. At what point did that realization hit you?
I think for me it was the first time because I knew I would grow, and I knew I would grow in Africa, and I was growing in Africa. I was doing the thing in Africa, and then I think for me it was Rihanna is the first person I met that just kind of pushed me into believing in something else, because then got me into Fenty and started working with Fenty. And her whole team was just like, oh my goodness, you're amazing. And they kind of threw me into the American market. And that was the first time I was like, damn, okay.
I can do this.
I can do this 100%. And I got into it.
Amazing. What is the most amazing feedback that you've ever gotten in the past year? The most amazing feedback, like top feedback.
I think is getting into Hollywood, and getting a chance to get in film in Hollywood. The first time I was able to get to be told I can film in Hollywood.
Wow.
That's the best feedback I ever got. I was like, I'm gonna be a movie star.
And you are. And comparing a day in your life to your day pre the blow up of Elsa Majimbo, is it like day and night?
Day and like deep in
Do
the
you ever
night.
get used to it? Do you ever get used to it at the moment?
I have gotten used to it.
This is you now.
Yes, I got accustomed to it because my life before wasn't like a grand prize. So I got very comfortable very quickly in my new life.
Did you ever replace that wig that fell off when you were on the freeway with your friends?
Oh,
I remember that Insta story.
that was so sad. We're just on the highway.
Did you ever replace that wig?
No.
You guys were on the highway and then what happened?
And then my wig fell off. And it fell, and I'm telling my friends, I'm like, stop. They're like, no. And I'm seeing my wig. And
and you guys, and I remember you said your mom was asking you what time you're going to be home that day. And you were running late.
Yeah, I was running late.
And then you get home with no wig on.
I came back a mess, and she was like, you're good. I was like, yeah, I'm good, because I couldn't tell her what happened. I felt like I was in the movie, so I took my head out and I started blowing my hand away, and boom, wig off. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, your social media numbers grew. In what way do you think numbers going from less than 100,000 and in a year growing to 1.5 million, in what way do numbers place a value on the work and the authenticity of the work that you do?
For me, it's just, I feel like for me, my numbers, it symbolizes that there are more people who are enjoying my content, and there are more people who are finding happiness within it. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's just, I'm so happy that I'm able to pass on my happiness onto other people.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people come onto your platform to seek, you're so honest about things. You're like, we're thinking it, but you said it, always slaving,
Everyday slaving,
everyday labor. And it's things that we say in our house now. Like, we'll come home from work at like midnight, and then my husband and I will be like, oh, we're so tired. And it'll be like everyday slaving, everyday labor. And it's things that we think, but you had the bravery to put them into words for us, and for us now to kind of make it comedic relief. Do you think that in Black families we do that quite often, where we joke away sometimes the most intense moments?
We do that all the time. All the time. All the time. Every single time we do that.
And in your family, you particularly did it. Who's the funny one in your family besides you?
I think the funniest are my elder brother
Yeah.
and my dad.
Yeah.
They're definitely the funniest.
Are they the jokers of the family?
Yeah, but in general, my whole family is funny. But my older brother and my dad, they're the funniest.
And you've now built a team around you of professionals that manage your brand and grow you. How does that change the game and redirect your brand to like greater heights?
I think my team is very important to me because I trust them. So it's about, because everything I'm doing, I can't do it alone. Everything that's coming my way, if I do it alone, I tried doing it alone. Oh no, it can't work. And even last month, there was a few things I needed done, and well, the person who was meant to do it didn't do them, so they fell back on me, and it completely broke me. It broke me, like I couldn't do it. So I think having my team by my side is very important, but also everyone needs to play their role so that everyone can be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you deal with a lot of people all the time, right? Because of now your elevation into who you are and into your brand and stardom. You meet different people. There's different energies that you're getting into and you're meeting. Also on social media, 2.5 million followers, there's energies, there's a spiritual aspect to it. How do you navigate the energy and the spiritual aspect of doing the work that you do? And where do you refill? What do you do to refill yourself and to recuperate?
For me, it's just like getting away. When I feel like there is too much negativity around me, I leave. That's why I left Kenya. If there's too much negativity around me, I just leave. Some people are like, no, you have to fight. No, I don't. I don't have to fight.
I don't do those everyday slaving, everyday
I
labor.
don't do that. If something isn't making sense to me, I'll move along, because I don't have the time for that. I'm a busy woman. I don't have the time to now fight energies and fight people. Hell no. So for me, it's just, if there's too much negativity, I just leave. I don't tolerate it. I don't try to explain it. I don't try to make sense of it. I just leave.
Yeah. And as human beings, we tend to find ourselves too focused on pursuing the future and finding things that can fulfill us for the moment. What are things far beyond that Elsa uses for fulfillment? Beyond the money, beyond the fame, what fills your cup? What makes you happy?
Chicken. I love chicken so much.
Chicken.
I love chicken.
I did not expect that response.
I love chicken.
I heard you outside during lunch saying, oh my gosh, chicken. But I didn't expect you loved it that much.
I love chicken. I don't know why. I just love chicken so much. I'm always eating chicken.
Yeah.
Eating chicken, playing chess, good music. I really love chicken. So for me, that's it.
Okay, so now I know where to take you next. Chicken. And the same way that, you love chicken, career-wise, what are other things career-wise that you want to pursue? You still want to pursue, you want to get into? What are some little dreams that you still want to?
Okay, it's kind of a sub-dream, because now I'm getting into film, and most of the film, of course, is comedy, and But I also want to get into film that talks about real things and real people and what happens in other people's lives, because that's what made me connect with my community in the first place, because they could relate to me. So for me, my dream is getting into film that talks about real people in everyday life and what they go through.
Yeah. And in your own words, it's not by mistake. You manifested being at this point today. You manifested it. You spoke it into existence. You said, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to Hollywood. It's on video. It's on that clip we have on the sit down. You said you're going to Hollywood. You're going to blow up. You're going to be a superstar. And you said, you know, in the next few years, that's your plan. You're about to pack your bags in that moment, I think. You were like ready to pack and leave. What more dreams within that context? Like after film, what is the other big dream? What's another big dream that you must still fulfill?
I don't know. I feel like all my dreams are coming true and nothing is out of reach.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what I dream about, because it's like everything I can possibly dream about, I can have it.
Yeah.
So the only thing maybe out of my control is the things happening in the world. For me, these are the things I dream about changing. But everything career-wise, it's like everything I want, I can have. It's just it's a phone call away or a text or a DM away.
Yeah.
So I have it.
That's amazing to say, all my dreams are a phone call away, a text or a DM away. Wow.
I know.
Wow. That is amazing. And you're a humanitarian at heart as well. So would your other dream also be to get more into that field, to create organizations or to partner up with organizations within the humanitarian field?
There are a lot of humanitarian, and you know what I also like about it is that there are so many places you can add to, and you can always cheapen. You can always cheapen. So I want to get involved in as many things as I can. The thing I like most about being in the humanitarian field is that there are so many things that need changing, so that you can always cheapen in one or another. And for me, it's about getting into as many fields as I can and just doing the most I can and helping people change their lives. And you know, it's not just about being in those fields, it's also about teaching the other people who have access just about how the world is, and it's about education. So I'm going to do as much as I can to change everything and just make sure people have better lives that they deserve.
Absolutely. And at only 19, you have realized most of your dreams. All of your dreams, actually, and you keep topping them up now. You keep adding on to them. And at 19, you're changing the world, and you still want to change the world even more.
I do.
You have so many tricks up your sleeve, and in wrapping up, can you share anything that is coming up for you that is up your sleeve? Is anything, any secret that you can share with us?
Yeah, it's like
a teeny weeny secret.
Every single thing I do is so big that it has to be a secret. Oh my goodness.
No, I mean, for real, like you're not lying.
Yeah.
Just a teeny weeny little teaser of something.
I'll be involved in something kind of music-like. So that's
look
a
out
hint.
for that.
So look out for that. Something music.
And can I get another secret out of it?
I've already given as much as I can.
Okay. She's going to be involved in something music very soon. Thank you so much for joining us on the sit down, Elsa. I truly appreciate it. It's been amazing just knowing you. And I think as Olwe2 myself, there's so much that I've learned through you on just speaking my life into existence and really speaking glory and the best things over my own life, realizing my own dreams and being my authentic self. And I'm so grateful that I came across an Elsa in my lifetime to be able to do that. And if there's any story that I will tell my children one day is, look at the case study of Elsa Majimbo. Follow your dreams, follow your bliss, and be authentic in everything that you do.
I mean, they'll just be like, look at Auntie Elsa. I'm sure they'll already
know.
You know.
They will already. I truly appreciate it. And I appreciate that you're a little sister to me. Not a big little sister. because you are wise beyond your words. You're wise beyond your words. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of The Sit Down. Until next time, do follow Elsa Majimbo's story, her life, her, everything that she's doing, because if there's anything in our lifetime that we need to shine a light on for our children to see, is the fact that you can be your authentic self, you can be you, and your dreams will find you.